What is happening, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a part 2 to my rig breakdown video. We're going to be taking a look at some of the recent modifications and upgrades that I've done to the kit. Since using the kit in the field, I have done a couple of different jobs with it, and this is sort of a part 2 to that video and how the rig has evolved over the last couple of months and some of the new pieces that I've added to the kit to add either more efficiency, faster work on set, more reliability. We're going to be taking a look at 6 different upgrades, 3 of which are kind of more minor upgrades, and then 3 of which I consider to be major upgrades, and why each one of them is helpful towards working faster and more efficient, and what value that it brings to the kit. All right, first things first is the cable management rig. There are these tiny little pieces that you can buy from Small Rig that are cable clamps that you can screw on by a corner 20. It'll screw anywhere onto the cage or a plate or anything. And then it's got these little hooks that you can stick your cables into it to create some really solid cable management. Before, I was just using the red cable ties Think Tank cables. They worked great, but they were kind of adding a little bit of bulk, more so than I wanted to. They've gotten the cables off the rods now. Everything's on the back of the plate now. It just looks way cleaner. It feels way more solid. So that's a huge plus there. All right, next up is gonna be audio. If you're a dimwit like myself and you don't know shit about audio or production audio, to say that, you're gonna need to get some gear that can kind of help you not screw up as much. So one of the upgrades that I made was the Zoom H5. This is a successor to the Zoom H4n that I was using before. And pretty much everything about it is upgraded. I'm actually using the H5 to record myself right now. And as you can see, it's got these little dials here on the side, so you can change the level. So it's getting quieter, and it's getting louder, and right about there is pretty good. I'm gonna just leave it there for the rest of the video now. But that's essentially is one of the major audio upgrades. Is this thing? It sounds fantastic, as you can hear audio. Obviously, the audio that's being recorded right now. Which brings us to the next upgrade, which is the Rode Wireless Go system. Again, I'm using it right now. I'm sending the lav straight into the transmitter, which is in my back pocket, and then that is transmitting to the receiver right now, and then that is being sent through a cable to the H5. Again, it's basically designed to be as simple as possible for the idiot who doesn't know what he's doing with audio. Basically me. It pairs basically instantly, and as long as you're within the same room of the transmitter, it works perfectly. Big upgrade there, making everything sound good, because it's important. All right, moving on to, did I even number these? All right, so that was the 3 minor upgrades, and now on to why you're here. Let's get on to the 3 major modifications that I've made to the kit. Let's talk about them. Here we go. All right, so number 1 of the major upgrades is going to be the mount. If you remember my video before, I had gone with the FD mount speed booster. I have since abandoned that now, and I now use the Metabones Cine EF mount speed booster, specifically designed for the Pocket 4K, the 0.71 times magnification version. Here's the mount itself, and this attaches just a little bit differently than other EF mount lenses. Rather than putting the lens in and then twisting it, you put the lens in how you would normally shoot with it, and then you twist and lock the mount itself. It's a way more solid connection. It's built like a tank. It's kind of more similar to like a PL mount on the Alexa or a Red or something along those lines. It's just very, very well designed. The glass is super clear. I've been insanely impressed with the results that I've been getting with this. The main reason I went with this is because I wanted to declick the iris of my FD lenses to give them a full cine conversion. But unfortunately with those lenses, you're not able to declick the iris without removing the FD mount. You have to switch to EF. All right, moving on to number 2. This is the battery. I have moved on from the V-mount solution that I was using before and have converted completely over to the gold mount standard. One, I was having some issues connectivity-wise to my 8-scene plate. It started getting loose over time, so I switched out that for the wooden camera plate, which worked great for about 2 months or so. And I was having some weird connectivity issues with that as well. Couldn't really figure out what the issue was. So I decided I'm just going to move on to a more reliable solution. All my friends who work in the TV industry here in Chicago suggested that I go over to using gold mount. So that's what I did. I've gone with now the Dynacore, the 155 amps size mini City Bricks. I don't know how excited one can get about batteries because it's just a brick that powers the camera. But oh my God, these things are so amazing. They're small and compact. They're smaller than my V-mounts and pack more battery punch, and they have the really solid gold mount connection. These things are just freaking amazing. They are not cheap. They're not the most expensive batteries out there, but they're extremely well priced for what they are. Yes, they're not cheap, but the value that you're getting out of these things is incredible. These power the camera for about 4 hours per battery. So I can easily make it through an entire day, no problem at all. The camera stays on all day. And then to accompany the batteries, I have upgraded now to the Anton Bauer and Wooden Camera Pro gold mount plate. They make this specifically for the Pocket 4K. It's got a little cable that comes out of the bottom, comes straight out of the plate. So there's no connection that could get loose. And then I have it running down this little snake of cables at the back, going right into the 2-pin LEMO port. And this battery just slips in just like this from the side. Extremely solid, very, very happy with this. All right, and wrapping it up, lastly, this is my final and my favorite upgrade that I have done to my rig since, and I've upgraded from the Small HD 501 monitor to the brand new Small HD 702 Touch. I cannot say enough good things about this monitor. It is a 7-inch monitor with a 1920 by 1200 resolution, so just a little bit higher than Full HD. It's P3 Gambit standard at 1500 nits, so it's super bright outdoors. It takes the Sony battery standard here, but it's also got a DC input here as well, which is what I use. It's just a cable that runs straight from D-Tap right into the DC. It's also got HDMI in and out, as well as SDI in and out, which is huge for those more higher end setups that use SDI instead of HDMI. This monitor is fantastic. It's obviously, because of the name, it's a touch screen, so you can just swipe through different menus and add all these different little things that you might need, like framing guides or focus peaking, waveforms, false color. A lot of the stuff's kind of already built into the Pocket, but for the stuff that it doesn't have, or the stuff that I would just want like at a touch, like at my fingertips, this monitor is fantastic for. And then I've got a little screen protector on it too. And then in the case, I've also got it in this little sleeve here to kind of help protect it. This was definitely a future-proofed upgrade because I want this monitor to last for the majority of my career going forward. Because I want to be able to throw this monitor on any higher end camera that we're renting for the job, and I absolutely love this monitor. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed having a look at some of the more recent modifications that I've done to my kit, and it might give hopefully maybe it gave you some ideas if you have a similar kit, what upgrades may be valuable for you to work more efficiently, work faster, and to make your kit more reliable. I will catch you guys in the next one.